He's back!
Hello, BionicDance. It's me, William, here again.
Alright, sunshine. Let's see what you got.
I usually have to make a couple videos because I screw up or something like that.
Well, truth to tell, this is probably my last video to you, unless your next video is phenomenally good. Because frankly, this is getting old. I feel like we're going in circles here.
So, I am equal and one as all life, okay? I'm not defined by anything. Hence oneness, okay?
Nuh-uh. Not okay. While it's true that I do agree that we are not higher and mightier necessarily than other forms of life, I don't agree with this oneness. That doesn't make sense to me at all.
I'm not a dualist, I'm not a theist, I'm not an atheist, I'm not a pantheist, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a New Ager, I'm not any of those things. I don't stand by any definition.
Maybe not consciously or voluntarily, but I flat guarantee you fit some of those words, pal.
I'm just here, me, that's it. This is it, me.
Sounds kinda selfish to me.
Equal and one, okay?
Equal yes, one no. How many times do I have to say it? This oneness of yours sounds like mystical mumbo jumbo that you still have to prove.
If you look at the string theory or M theory that is very popular today, it has a mathematical formula behind it, and the math works for it. And basically that theory, the only reason they call it a theory is because they can't actually observe it.
Oh, boy, you know that headache I get sometimes? It's back. Dude, a theory in science is something which has tons of evidence to back it up. What you're talking about is something a hell of a lot closer to a hypothesis. This is terminology you people really need to get right. Seriously.
But the math works for it, and that's why they have the Large Hadron Collider. That's what that's based on, is finding those particles based on the string theory. So that's something that has a formula for it that, actually has some plausible evidence for being true.
That's right. It has evidence behind it. I have yet to see that kind of tangible, workable evidence from your side.
And if it is true, then there are more dimensions to this universe than what we see with our eyes.
But there's no reason to go filling those extra dimensions with fairies, elves, and the Force, dude.
Okay, so there was a Big Bang, and from that life emerged, but life didn't understand itself.
Wrong, but thanks for playing. Life did not emerge from the Big Bang, dude. The universe did. The planets, the stars, the nebulas, all of that shit. That's from the Big Bang. Abiogenesis caused life much, much later as a very, very, very indirect result of the Big Bang. And what is this crap about life didn't understand itself? I mean, life is not a thing. Living creatures may not have quite had self-awareness, but life didn't understand itself? That's mystical mumbo-jumbo, dude.
So as life evolved, some beings realized that they could become manipulative and get what they want through spitefulness.
While others learned that they could get what they needed through cooperation. What's your point? You sound like you're reading off a prophecy over here.
This spitefulness was in the form of thought.
Shadden-wawa?
How this worked was that one being had a thought in spitefulness, then another had a counter thought, and this created a friction or an energy.
I can feel the hate flowing through you. Dude, I'm sorry, but this energy of yours does not exist.
And this is how we get the polarity system, these two thoughts conflicting, creating this energy. So a good and a bad conflict, polarity.
But good and bad only exist as points of view, as perspective. One person's horrible and terrible might be another person's no big deal. One person's woohoo might be another person's yeah, whatever. I mean, seriously, dude, they're not forces.
For polarity, for good to exist, there must be an equal amount of bad or evil to exist.
Oh, hogwash. There's such a thing as neutral, which good can be better than. You don't have to have, ooh, I did a great amount of good, now here's some really horrible evil to counterbalance it. It doesn't work like that.
To realize who we really are, we have to stop participating in this polarity.
Why? Even if I granted you that this polarity exists, which I don't, part of who we are is how we react to it, isn't it?
And you can try it for yourself. Try stopping your thoughts and see if you still exist.
Even if I did, why would this be a good thing? Sounds terribly dull to me, not thinking.
Okay, you made one point that we are matter. Yes, we are matter as the physical, but if you observe the thoughts and beliefs you have, you are not just matter, but you exist as energy, as polarity.
Well, first off, you have to look up the relationship between matter and energy, because frankly, they're just the same thing in different states. Next of all, my thoughts are generated by my brain. My brain is made out of matter. I'm not this mystical energy force made of polarity. That's bullshit, dude. Or if it isn't, prove it. Seriously, show it to me. Because this is all just mystical mumbo-jumbo. This is wishful thinking at its worst.
You asked who determines what life is.
No, I bloody didn't ask you who gets to determine what life is. What I said was, why should we attach this extra baggage to life, this polarity energy crap of yours?
Therefore, if I stand in absolute self-honesty, I direct myself as life without limitation. There's no limitations on life.
Yeah, there is. It's called death. It's called severe head trauma. It's called being burned alive. It's called life requires the physical body, and if that's damaged beyond repair, life's over. Of course there's limitations on life.
But who's to say that there won't be another Big Bang?
Physics. The universe is not merely expanding, it's accelerating. The universe could never come back together to produce another Big Bang. It's just not possible at this point.
I remember you made another assumption that life would be dull and boring without us using knowledge.
Well, without thinking, yeah, and I stand by that even now.
I would recommend that you reconsider that, actually, because life without limitation would not be boring.
Life without limitation is not something you've yet been able to describe that matches the facts.
Now, there's this girl that has actually become a portal, and she's gone into the dimensions and seen what is going on from that perspective. So that is how we have been able to discover what is really going on with this world.
Right. So let me see if I got this straight. Portal Girl has managed to dimension jump around and discover this polarity, which has then taught us that the universe has to have balance in a sort of yin-yang way that makes everything all right if we do it by not thinking anymore. Right.
I think that's about all for now.
Liar.
Okay, just wanted to add one little point on separation. You see yourselves as separate. Everyone sees themselves as separate. We have a unique individual expression, but that is not the essence of who we are. The essence of who we are is life.
Bullshit. Life is a function of biology, and who we are is precisely determined by our separateness, by our uniqueness from each other.
Okay, so I just wanted to add that.
Look, unless your next video is phenomenally good and comes with heaps of evidence, this will be our last interaction. And just remember,
You are the whole.
yes, you are.